Research Shows podcast.
Now I want to ask your opinion on this right here, because my father said this and I found it to be true, that men don't, like, after a certain age, they don't want, like, y'all just take what we say, like, one, because you can't take hearing a woman. My father told me the age of 8. And this is interesting because that's the same age I believe in the Quran in regards to it's saying how Allah hold the children accountable for what they do starting at that age. And secondly, my youngest baby, who really is my listening baby, started being like combative with the female teachers or the lady teachers at that age. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? He couldn't take this teacher, and all the way up to that age it was cool. But it's something about they respecting when a man says something more so than when a woman says it. Is that true in your opinion?
I'll rephrase it. Okay, so what I've noticed, I taught in Maryland County, Prince George County schools for like 12 years. So going into the school system, it's a maternal system. It operates around how women act, move, think, the process. We had one of the most male-populated staff in the county. So I really got to see a good mix of it. So what happens is, let me give you an example. It's better for me to give you an example. I know this young lady, she's married, and her husband separated, and they have two boys. And as they got to be 11 and 12, she would start, tell them things to do, or she told them, she took their PlayStation away from them. And when she took the PlayStation away from them, they went and found it and brought it back and kept playing with it. So she found that they did it. I'm sorry?
That sounds like my child. I ain't gonna say which one.
No, this is not you. So when she went back and took it from him again and said, "Don't play with it," right? And she took it and she hid it someplace, a different place. They went in the bedroom and found it again, playing with it. So she got to the point where she said, well, "I'm just going to take it and put it in the car. They can't get in the car; it's locked." So she talked to her father and told her father, and so the father talked to the father of the boys, right? And said, "Look, it's time. The boys are at that age." So the father came and took custody of the children, kept them for about a year, and then brought them back, for vacation, to stay with the mother. And then the father asked, "Well, there's a difference in the boys." And yeah, they've grown, yada yada. He said, "What else?" And she said that the boys, I only have to tell them once. I said, "So what do you think that is?" And she said, "It's because of the man's voice."
Right.
And I said, "No, it's not."
It's more the command, right? It's like it's, to me, I notice the difference when I'm like, no, this is how it's gonna go, and not too many words. You know what I'm saying? Is that true, or what you think?
Okay, and you're a woman, and I understand your perspective. but for man, there's only one man in the house.
Okay.
I make the rules, you follow. I'm only going to tell you once. I tell you once, there's consequences. Whatever that may be, punishment, whatever. And don't challenge me, because I'm not breaking down, and they know that. So, and that's because of I told you no. I told you don't do that. You did it anyway. I got up out of my seat, went over to you when you're a young child, and I put you where you're supposed to be. This is where you're going to be. It's going to be my way, and they learn that. But you have to early on. Children go as you kind of at the environment, as you teach them, as you show them. They don't have any choice. They don't know anything else. So, but women will say, "Come here, boy! Didn't I tell you to come here? How come you're not down here?" And then they yell, and then they'll get up, right? And that child knows, okay, just say, "Come here." Nah, that don't matter. She's gonna say it again. You say it again. Then when they hear that serious voice, oh, then they get up. They know then you're serious. But I always had the concept of, with my daughters and young people, if I have to scream and yell at you, then I'm doing something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I should be able to communicate with you. When I say what I say, I mean it. And I take you the same way. When you say something, I'm going to hold you to it. So we're creating an environment because that's how men respect men. You don't tell somebody you're going to do something for a man and then you don't do it. Your word means nothing. And all we have is our respect in our words. So it's vital. It's vital to men. So whether we're dealing with our daughters or we're dealing with our sons, it's the same thing. We want to speak nice and we don't want to be the bully. I'm going to tell your daddy. Nobody wants to be in that position where I'm a big bad boogeyman. I love my children like my wife does. So we're looking to create a certain environment. And that's why women won't say, I'm going to tell your father. Because they know that their father is not going to take that mess.
And plus, my dad used to say that you're not supposed to say that because then the child knows. It's kind of like you're relinquishing power to the father. It's like they need to respect you, period, when it's just you in the house because they're going to be bigger than you at one given point in time. And you not going to be able to scream, ain't going to be able to hit them. It's like you commanding that respect. I kind of got that more so through customer service as well, because you can't scream at people to get them to do what you want. You can't hit them. You see, and that's kind of like we're kind of trained in you scream and yell for power, and that's not necessarily true. And I learned that through customer service. Like them kids, you're going to do what I say, and that's it. I'm not threatening. I'm not giving ultimatums. Sit right here, and we're not going to have no tantrums. And most time they be like, they don't even know what to do. They just be stuck off the. I think it depends on the personality too. The personality type.
And I'm not a psychologist, but from watching fathers and talking to fathers, we tend to think more, put value on the result. Acting this way and me interacting with this child this way today. What is that going to look like after 5 years? And do I want to be in that position? So no, I'm setting up how I want my child to conduct themselves later on. So when I'm in the house, if my child is rambunctious and going through everything and grabbing things and pulling things off, I have to deal with that child then because, hey, if I say, okay, Don, watch my child, and my child comes over there, they run through your house and messing up everything. No, don't let that demon seed back on my house. I'm not watching them anymore. That's what's going to happen. So I've got a child. I don't need them anywhere. And so
that's true.
You're thinking more on the back end. And so it comes back to men, and that goes back to something you said earlier about choosing your mate. And when we say we compliment one another, because we're a man and a woman doesn't mean we automatically compliment one another.
Right, exactly.
Because we get married, we can adjust and compliment one another. You have to find someone. It's like in basketball. You need someone who can dribble, and you need somebody who can get rebounds.
Right.
We could have two guys that are small guys, and both of them like to dribble. Just because they get on the team together, don't mean they're going to have a good team with one of them trying to rebound. I'm going to look for. I'm small. I'm going to look for it. I'm going to look for a tall guy that can rebound. So it comes down to the question is, if you're a woman and you want to have children, you're going to look for a guy. Is he good with children?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Is he positive in gaining respect?
Mm-hmm.
You understand? You got to look for that before you get together. Not get together and then, okay, I expect you to adjust to me, or I'm going to adjust to you. Because we are who we are, and we get with that person and their personality the way they are. So that's why beforehand, we have to find out who they are.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of like somebody was describing on something I was watching. It's like a tango. You know what I mean? Like, you're together, but it's like you're moving together as the unit, which can be very difficult because, if you try to get a 4-year-old to share something, they'll flick off on you. Look, but by the time when you're married, even if you're not married and you have a child by somebody, you still gonna have to co-parent whether you want to or not. You know, it's like you just gonna have to, and it's so sad the way I look at stuff. I think it's so sad that me and the oldest child's father didn't start communicating to the child's like 15, which I think it is better sometime than not. But I think that's more difficult when you're not married. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of different dynamics and stuff.
But it's always easier to create a habit than it is to break a habit.
Yeah.
And we have to look at the person that we're selecting. We have to look at them as a child. And so this adult is acting this way, not because they're just selfish. It's because somewhere in their youth, up to that point, that's what's been ingrained into them. So you can be a single parent and you can have an only child, but you can teach that child how to share. I can go and have a candy bar and sit down, and I break off a piece of candy bar and give it to my child, show them that they're sharing. And then I can buy my child a candy bar, and I can sit there and open it for them and give it to them and say, "Can I have a piece?" And they might, at first, but you start this way. You don't wait until you've done it already. You start this way and say, "Can I have a piece?" And go to their candy bar, break off a little piece, and eat it. Thank you. I appreciate that. And then next time you'll see children that, because you've shown them you're going to give some of yours, and they give some of theirs, and they share, and now they don't have any, but they got some because you shared it with them.
Right. Yeah, that does start young.
Starts young, and so often we wait until we think a child can communicate with us before we start doing those things. And they're picking up things all the time. They're watching, they're observing. They feel the energy with which you give, So we're always teaching from the time they come out there watching us. So we have to judge ourselves and look at the way we're conducting ourselves and look at how we want to impact our children. And so often in this society now, we seem to be more of a me. I'm independent. I'm gonna do what I want. I'm gonna get what I want. And it leaves our children picking those habits up.
Right. Sorry, I got a psychopath cat over here cutting on the air conditioner. Cat crazy. So I want to talk more on the excuse me, the influence of a father, the importance of that. If we could go back into that, because you were mentioning that earlier. I don't know. How can, I guess, single mothers what's certain mechanisms they could use to try to get, a father to be more involved? I know that you can't make somebody want to, but sometimes people are combative, and for other reasons, maybe they're angry or jealous, this and that. What can you tell, I guess, a father in regards to how to get through that barrier just to be involved in a child's life if they're dealing with them not being with their mother?